carried out the TOC meeting on 21st of November. So we have a slightly different agenda to date. We will put the update, which will be from the Foundation Infrastructure Working Group to the end, because we will wait. We are waiting for Joseph to join. Let's see. And yeah, we will review the actions from the last week, review PRs, and talk about business, any other business. So action items from last week. Look at insights to see what kind of activities tracked Chris. This was about whether we can use insights to make decisions about activity of GitHub users in our organization, cloudfoundry organization.
Right, and I regret to inform you that I did not do that at all, but I will for next Tuesday.
Maybe it's not needed. I did some explorations with the APIs, and
cool.
Also Ruben had some good feedback what can be used here. So I think we are good with the GitHub APIs.
Okay, yeah, I would think I'm just going straight to the source would be better anyway, but cool.
Yeah. Add your vacation time to the Slack thread. Did you do this? Only I think Ruben was missing at some...
I'm still planning my vacation. And the whole Broadcom thing, today was announced that tomorrow it might close, so that has a bit of influence on vacation planning. So we'll be doing that tonight, hopefully.
Okay. Fingers crossed that. Yeah. Okay, and the live stream info, yeah, Rem, you shared this in the TOC Slack channel. How was the event, actually? Yeah.
I missed the first half of it, but I tuned in the second half, and it seemed like there's a decent number of folks who were watching, and it seemed to go pretty well. And it should be up on YouTube by now, I would think. Although I'd have to confirm with Rom.
Great. Okay, then let's look into the PRs. So we have the RFC about define the criteria which we want to have for user removal. Well, I didn't get much. So basically, there was no feedback to change something after we started the final comment period last Tuesday. So Anita commented that it looks good. Also Johan, and he asked about what could be provided to working group leads so that they can have tooling to find inactive users. Maybe we can discuss this later, because I have this as a point in any other business. Maybe we can just focus on the PR now and then discuss follow-ups for the working group.
Yeah, so, like I think for priority-wise, I would say that this is like of lesser importance than like actually dealing with the members in the org, right? Like people with an active role, at least, or with a role in a working group are probably more active. And like you would notice maybe if they are not as active. I mean, it isn't that big of a use case compared to like cleaning up the GitHub organization, right? So that's why I would like, and like if we build a tooling to detect activity anyway, right? We could always revisit and extract that one API call into a script that actually generates such a report. But that would be probably come after.
Yeah.
I know from the from Jochen from this working group. There's from the founding of all the working groups. There are a few members inside who are very likely to be inactive. At least they didn't show up in any of the meetings anymore, and there were no commits, etc. And they might be candidates, and that's why I guess Jochen asked to have then somehow a official statement, and then we could propose those PRs. And but yeah, it's definitely lesser importance than cleaning up first of all the org, and then we can make sense.
Yeah.
What we at least see on the foundational infrastructure working group side is that some people have, like, I don't know, they are contractors or something, right? So they sometimes are really active and sometimes are like less active. So it like they go back and forth between that depending on what they are working on. I don't know if that's the case for these people, but yeah.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess as a working group lead, you know your folks,
yeah.
Can then judge whether
yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's probably less important because you probably know these people more closely, so you know probably the reason why they're not active. And that's hard to, like, and probably what he's looking for is like a tool to justify and like being able to say, like, the tool has decided that you are now out, right? Like, I think that's
or just open the PR and say your last contribution was 20 years ago, that's why, and then this is a true statement and not just a guest statement. That's all.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
But if we have the criteria here, what makes active, inactive users, then they can be applied also to the working groups in the same way.
Yeah. The graph SQL statements are here. Like,
I was been thinking maybe if we can if we execute the check as a GitHub actions, for example, we can just print as a warning in which working group which users are inactive, and then working group leads could use the output and then make something or not, just sanity check, or I don't know. But there is a next step. We should first clean up the organization. Do you have any additional comments here? Or is it? I can open again the so that you. So the proposal is check for code contributions, creation of discussion or review of pull requests, and creation or discussion of issues. And activity APIs with the GraphQL. So my understanding is that they check on these criteria. So I was reading the documentation and trying to understand, but it looks good. And the period for inactivity, the last 12 months. I think at the beginning, I will opt in for an automation which creates an issue in our repository, and then based on this issue, I can create a pull request to remove the users. So until we have confidence that not going for the full implementation with creating pull requests, it requires a little bit more effort. It's not so much, but we will require more effort. I'm not sure whether we have the GitHub client in the Docker, which we use to execute the org automation, for example?
Don't know, but if I remember correctly, there was at least one automation that has created PRs in the past. One of the automations, wasn't it? In the very beginning, when we had this sync where
it would show a diff or something, right? Between things. I don't know. It was.
So it should be possible to create. Maybe it was an action that creates a PR and not a GitHub command, something like that. So there's.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Definitely, it's possible. A little bit more effort to implement it.
But yeah, we can also start with an issue first.
Yeah.
This initial cleanup is maybe special. I mean, yeah, don't know how to deal with that. But even here, if we have this long list,
I was looking into how the Cloud Native working group did this. It looks like you can only ping 50 users in one comment. So if you have more, you have to.
Okay. Interesting.
Pull request comments, you can ping only 50 users, so you have manually to distribute. Yeah. Split if you have more. Yeah, it will be definitely manual effort. That's why I was thinking to start with the issue and then creating automatically issues, and then we can see. Okay, are there any comments? No, approved, so we don't have approves here.
No, I guess.
It's my own PR, I cannot approve.
So I approved.
I will go there. I was creating slides for the update.
You can ask ChatGPT.
Yes, sure. Thanks.
So we still need one approval.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Change request. Who has a change request? We can okay, I will generate them the number afterwards. Okay, maybe we can connect to this, just talk a little bit about the implementation. I started the implementation here based on Python. So basically, it will calculate the current 1 year before, the date 1 year before, then use the GraphQL APIs to get information about the activity of the user, and then so collect the inactive users. And then at the end, we'll create the issue. I think, Stephan, we can use here the org management functionality to get the list of contributors and the list of the users which have a role in working groups or the TOC.
that should be possible. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I was
work together.
experimenting. Yeah. Maybe we can sit together for half an hour to think, to look what makes sense.
Yep.
And then, but it looks promising. If you have feedback or anything, the PIs, so this is a PR in our repository already. Please provide feedback at the end. Anyway, we need to read it. Okay. So now any other business? I've been going over the issues we have. There is one issue about LFX, the inside, the different tools we have from LFX. So there was some development last year there. Somehow,
forgot all about this. Yeah, but I mean, I haven't exactly, because I've been still asking for this feature, and they keep telling me it's imminent. So I believe I'll soon be able to have like working groups be able to correlate per repository collections for working groups. Right now, everything in LFX is based on GitHub orgs, and you can't just have like a YAML file that tells you these particular repositories are for each subproject. But I have been told that is imminent, but they've been that was a similar story like in March. So take it with a grain of salt, but I think it should be done soon. I have been I've kind of stopped pinging them over and over again, but I think this actually will happen at some point soon.
I saw that there is a new version of the dashboards. I like the previous one better.
Well, them's the breaks. Yeah, I mean they're rolling out a lot of new features, and it's sometimes hard to keep track of. But this is an important thing for the Linux Foundation. And let me take a look right now. I mean, yeah, and now it also depends on the URL you put in. Like when I clicked on it just now, I'm looking at the version 1 of project administration, but I think there's like 2 or 3 versions now. So it's a little confusing in its current state. But okay, there's 1 and 2 if you just change the URL to v1 or v2. So there's a couple different versions. I'll ping them again about this right now, just because why not?
Okay, great. I added a comment that this is still relevant.
This is still current, believe it or not. Yes.
Because I want to keep the list clean, and then that's why I was going over the issues. Okay, now, so regarding the follow-up, when we have now the criteria, whether we want to do something for the working groups, to have to enable them to find inactive users or not. We discussed this a little bit now. So the script which we have, the script here just generates these contributions for a user. S8 generates all the contributions GitHub user created for a working group. It's not so time-based. You cannot say, at the moment at least, provide me the contributions.
In the last year, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah. They are sorted by date, so you can see that there was nothing in the. It could be also used, I think. So you get something like this. I use the tool to generate. So you get, so for the different areas in the working group, the contributions made by the GitHub user. Yeah. Issues. Oh no, there are PRs, issues, and code contributions. Okay, they are not. So I didn't work. So they are sorted by type of contributions: PRs, issues, and code contributions, not working group areas. But it's for the one working group. No, here and at the top, it's I just put here the CLI area of the array working group. Yeah, it's at the top. You get so to say a GitHub gist for every working group area, like this one. This is just one of the many you get if you execute the script.
Yeah, so like with the current script, you should already be able to see that they weren't active in the last year, right?
You have to look the details. Yeah, you have to look the details.
Yeah, but I mean, like for those few cases that we have, they should be able to use the script.
Yes, it should be not. Also, Johan, make the thumbs up here for the proposal.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we need to somehow put this in stone with an RFC or just let this get feedback.
Yeah, let's wait what comes out of our current scripts, and then we can have another discussion with Jochen. And
okay, sounds good. Yeah, is there anything else?
I have another topic, but I have put that in my last slide for the updates. So, like, let's go to the foundation infrastructure working group updates.
Yeah.
It seems like Joseph didn't join, so let's I will try to do it. Wait, now I need to share. Oh, then you need to stop sharing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So the updates. Yeah, so one big focus area for the foundation infrastructure working group has been FIPS. Important updates, milestones. So end of last week, a bit. So Canonical initially promised that I don't know what they initially promised, but at some point they promised that we would get access to the FIPS packages the 15th, I believe. Then we didn't. I emailed them again, and then this Monday when I tried, I was able to access the fips-preview service channel, whatever, and that allowed us to actually install FIPS packages. So that unblocked the Stemcell builder part. In the meantime, work has been done to add the ability to bosh.io to publish stem cells that are private, so that are not listed, but they are available through the API. But you need to authenticate to actually download them. That part still needs to be figured out. But that will allow Concourse resources like the bosh.io stem cell resource to just find new versions. Also, a test has been done verify that I think some initial validation with the Bosch director has been done against the fips Stemcell, because we have now with the fips-preview, we actually have a working Stemcell. We still need to review the PR, but there is a Stemcell that works already. There's a draft PR and some validation has been done with it. Collaboration with the deployments working group has been started, so they are preparing themselves to pull in this Stemcell. So we have published Stemcells in that private location that are actually not fips Stemcells. They just have the fips name, so they are just jammy Stemcells. But the idea is so that the deployments working group can start working on the authentication part, right? Changing their pipelines to be able to pull them in. And then the idea is that we get the fips Stemcells in that same location. But that, like, since the beginning of this week, I think we will, by the time we are ready to download and have the authentication part figured out, we will actually also have a Stemcell with fips bits in that same location. Yeah. Any questions about fips? Okay.
There is also a cf-fips Slack channel, which is there for cooperation, cross-working group.
Yeah, and then interesting things or trends that I noticed. So we have had a lot of docs PRs. The past few months, we are looking at like 20 plus PRs with significant docs contributions. The Bosch pcap PR, I think it's almost done. It's just some linting errors that are need to be fixed, and then we can actually merge that, which is nice. So that's the packet capture ability in the Bosch CLI, which is a collaboration with the, I think we talked about this before, but it's now almost merged. And then another great contribution we've gotten was the Bosch autocomplete for the CLI. That was also a PR we got from the community. So yeah, it was also great. Yeah, and then so there is this concourse instance which is called Hash House. So some open source projects in the foundation are using that instance, but the team behind that is trying to shut it down. So there are some areas or teams that are now looking for other homes for their concourses. So UAA is one of them. Given that they fall under Foundational Infrastructure Working Group, I've offered them to use the concourse that we already have for our working group, but that could mean that there's going to be more interest in hosting working group concourses. So I think we currently have one for the deployments working group and for the foundation infrastructure one, but there might be others who also want that. That's it.
Any questions, feedback?
I haven't looked into the numbers, but I believe also that our attendance in the number of attendees that we have in our working group meetings is going up. I think last time we had 9 people.
Yeah.
I have one question regarding the fips Stemcell and the delivery. My headphone died, so maybe you talked about it. The way how the stem cell is going to be delivered and the changes in the concourse resource, is it supposed to be done by the CF deployment working group, or I don't know what you agreed on, or is it done by whom?
I think the foundation infrastructure working group is working on that.
Okay.
Like
doesn't fall between the chairs. That's all.
No. That's it's being worked on. Like what we're currently looking at is, I think there's a thread in the cf-fips channel about this. But we're looking at how we can set up service accounts across Google accounts, so that we would be able to, like, or the deployments working group would create a service account, and then we from the foundation infrastructure would be able to grant access to that service account, and then you could manage your keys within your account yourself.
Okay.
That's ideal, right? Because we don't want, ideally, cross working group key management problems. Like that sounds annoying, especially when you have to rotate keys or something. Like having to orchestrate with a lot of people is not great. But yeah, that needs to be done. But because the Stemcell, the actual Stemcell builder work got unblocked, we refocused a bit on that. Right, we actually want a working Stemcell first, and then like all the other stuff was us trying to get ahead of things. But now that the Stemcell itself is unblocked, we want to prioritize that.
Okay.
The other option was with a white stem cell to share the ID only with an account.
Yeah, but you still ideally we still put the light stem cell download also behind. I wouldn't want to make the light stem cell itself public, because that's like, I mean, then we have to distinguish between, okay, this is fips but it's light, right? So it can be public, and this is fips but heavy. So like that's
not public, but it's some known to us bucket which can be used without authentication, maybe. But yeah.
But that's the same. That's obfuscating something. That's not ideal, given all our pipelines are open source anyway, right? So it wouldn't be hard to find a bucket if it's in a public pipeline.
But you cannot use the stem cell because it's shared only with one account, or with account.
Yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah.
Useless.
Because you cannot access the AMIs.
Yes, they are protected by the account.
We'll see. Also, we discussed the for the current stem cell builder draft PR, we're not using IS specific kernels, which we had for Bionic. For Bionic, we had an IS specific AWS kernel, and that one is currently not available in the fips-preview channel, but there is a generic one, and I'm actually kind of like the fact that we have a generic kernel instead of IS specific ones, right? We have that for the normal stem cells as well, and that would allow us to just publish fips for all the ISs we support if we just go with a generic kernel. But yeah, that's all.
Okay, I think we are done then. So thank you for your time, and have a nice day, evening. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.